Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH. And this is Answering Your Financial Questions with Coach Steve Money and Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And we know that the audio works. Yay! For my other financial content, you can go to my homepage, youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and just scroll down and you'll see this stream, Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. Both those and the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, so please listen up to those if you are so inclined. Change to live chat. Sorry, do not have an assistant. One day, maybe. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Alrighty. So let's get into the questions. Found Dave Ramsey, 3 houses too late, not underwater, but just need advice. Alrighty. I've just found out about this Dave Ramsey phenomenon, and by some miracle, we've actually been following his steps without realizing it. Right now, we're in baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Okay, if you have 3 mortgages, guess what? You're not following his steps. So, 1 mortgage for your house. And if you want to upgrade, the advice is to not constantly have a new mortgage as you move up in house. The idea is that you save up the additional difference in between what the equity you have in your current house, and that will facilitate buying a higher expensive house. Let's see, let's open this since it's a lot more than just the 1 paragraph. Let's see. I've just recently found out about, I did that already. Starting to wonder if we should sell one of our houses or just hold on to them. Probably. Let's see. House breakdown. House 1 primary worth $650, $421K left on the mortgage. That's a healthy mortgage, and that's fine. Okay. House 2 condo worth $300, $158 left. Cash flows $200 a month. $200 a month. So you're having $200 a month come in, and you know how fast that could be wiped out with some problem with the condo that you will have to pay for to fix. That is so dumb, and so that's why you only do real estate investing by being a landlord with cash. So that would be a nay for that. That means you sell both of these. House 3 worth $600K, $250K left. So that's fabulous. You have over $1 million in house. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, like a little bit over $1 million in houses. 12, probably about 1.2 million, something like that, in houses, and you have 250, and that's 400 and 8, and okay, so 1.2 million, and then you have 800,000 in mortgages, and that is dumb. And so you have not been following his steps without realizing it. That's a no on that. Now, you may have been following it by not having consumer debt. That's possible. But you have not been following it because you wouldn't buy other mortgages. You do not do that. If you want to be a landlord, if you want to start any kind of business, you do that at the speed of cash. No loan is on those. Out of state, it's in Utah, like house 1. Oh, okay, that means with the primary, yeah. And so you don't want to be a long distance landlord either. The cash flowing $1,000 a month is better, but it being out of state, then you're not managing it. Then you're paying somebody to manage it. Does that mean even after you paying the management fees? So that's going to be a no. That's sell both of those and completely pay off the your primary mortgage. And then if you still want to be a landlord, then you save and buy a house in cash. That way you're not paying a mortgage on it, and that way you cash flow a lot more, and one small repair that you have to do will not take all of your cash flow from that house. Other details: housing fund, we've got about 6-month reserve to cover mortgage payments. Okay, and that with business, that would be called retained earnings, but again, that's not how you do it. It's not like a housing emergency fund. It can be for your business. Again, if you want to go into the business, and you can use that money as to buy the house, and you got to pay for it fully in cash. Otherwise, that's a no for Mr. Ramsey. Household income around 100K. 100K household income, and they have $800,000 in mortgages. That is crazy. Should we sell a house or just keep them? You sell both of those. Or if you want, you can. I would sell the one that's worth the most, the one in Arizona, because that's out of state, because you are having to pay somebody to manage that one. I would sell that one and combine that amount with your reserve fund to pay off your primary house, is what I would do. But keeping neither of them is a good idea to do. Now, Dave sometimes does tell people, if you can pay it off in a year or two, fine, you put it in baby step 2 and you just pay it off. But I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend being debt free and then running your life Ramsey-esque, as you so think you're already doing. Run your life by the Ramsey standard. Let's see. The real estate brings in some cash flow, not nearly enough. But I feel like, for me, maybe I've done things out of order. That much is certain. You've just done it the wrong way, because you've done it with debt. And you do not start businesses with debt. Most businesses go out of business that are started. And so you want to do that with your cash, because that's not great if you lose your cash to trying to start a business, but at least then you're not in debt for that, and you also have a failed business. Let's see, we'll likely stay in Utah, but the Arizona property a cash cow, so not sure if we just hold on or not. Again, that one, even $1,000 a month, one roof on that, and there goes all your cash flow. So that's dumb to do that. That's why you need to pay for it totally in cash. Only headache is we have students in our Arizona house, always worried about something may happen to the house. That can happen to the house, whether it's the students doing it or it's old people in it. Houses can still break. The tenants in house 2 have been there for 2 years and fantastic. We won't raise the rent on them as we don't want to lose them. Again, that shouldn't be your main focus. None of it should be. It should have you having your primary paid off. So, and again, that's not how it works. Like when you had the previous house, if you lived in that condo, or in house 3, if your wife was in that originally, and then you just never, because you move or because you get a different house doesn't automatically mean you need to be a landlord. A lot of people say, like, you never sell real estate. No, that's bull crap. Because a lot of times it can get you in trouble, and it definitely doesn't have you in financial peace mode either, being debt free. You got to make $100,000 a year and you got $800,000 in mortgages. Dumb. All right, let's see what else there's here. We feel very fortunate as we got properties before everything spiked up in Utah and Arizona. Tough. I'd love to keep the properties. You can do whatever you want. But like I said, you are this close to having something go wrong with one or more of the houses, and then you have to pay for stuff, and then there goes all of your cash flow. And that's just too much income to debt ratio. Even though you have some equity in them, that's still too much. 100K a year, and you have $800,000, 800K in mortgages. Dumb. Do not do that. Get out of that situation. Again, I would at least sell the one that's out of state. And then maybe you can mostly pay off with the proceeds. You can mostly pay off, let's see, can you, with that and the 6-month reserve, you can pay off probably have both of those paid off. So that would be fine too, as long as you can start somewhere where you don't have a mortgage on any investment property, because that is not the correct way to do it. I want to make sure I'm following Dave's principles. It's not to have mortgages on rental properties. That would be a no. And let's see. Since you are right side up on 2 rental properties, if you have a long-term life merger, you could sell them for a profit. And no, let's see. Sell 2 houses and live in the one you keep, right? Let her be out of the debt the day you do it, right? That's right. I mean, even you could almost pay off the condo as well if you wanted to just sell the one in Arizona. So, yeah, too much risk for $200 a month. Absolutely about that. But you could still make that work, because it's not that much risk if you don't owe any money on it. If all of that equity in that condo is yours. Let's see. Next, that's me for sure. Non-U.S. listeners. Curious about the number of non-U.S. listeners or YouTube followers of the Ramsey programs. Anyone know? No, I don't, but I'm sure it's a lot. And unfortunately, now they can't listen to the last hour because they can't get the Ramsey Network app in other countries. And so that is a big shame. Environmental 667. Planning children around debt. That's not really a thing for Mr. Ramsey. You have children when you want to have children. Now, if you are having trouble feeding yourselves, then you may want to think about waiting. Now, but other than that, if you can just cut out of your budget other stuff, and then you can afford food for babies and diapers and such, then you don't wait until you're out of debt. How do you guys approach planning for children around debt? I have about $140K in student loan debt, no other debt. My partner and I are seriously considering trying for kids. Mr. Ramsey would say get married first, but I'm a little scared of having so much debt on top of childcare costs. The child care costs aren't going to be anywhere near the debt cost. Your debt is way, way more than the child care is going to cost. I mean, if you do have to pay for child care, if both people are working, both spouses, and do get married before you do this, do not have children, do not buy a house, do not move in with people you are not married to. At the rate that I'm currently paying it off, it will be done in about 5 to 6 years. That I really don't want to wait that long. And that's not the way to do it either. So you're doing something wrong, or you make hardly any money whatsoever. So you're doing everything wrong here by not being married. If you're married, you call it a spouse, not a partner. But as far as the taking 5 or 6 years to pay off 140, if you have 140 in student loans, then you should have a degree where you make a lot of money. And if you don't, that was pretty dumb, wasn't it? And so you would cut out things that you have in your life. No other debt, so no car debt. So that's great. So all you got to do is pay this off. So you have to cut your budget down. And it may be a problem because being not married, may not have finances combined. Who knows what's going on there? And so there's a lot of different things going on there, but it's not that the planning the children around debt is something you have to do, but you're not living your entire life correctly because you're not prioritizing this debt. If you make any significant money that would appear to make the 140K loan investment in student loans worth it. So, without, I'm not going to look, 16 comments, I'm not going to look through there to try to find extra information, but the having children while you have debt is much less of a problem than you taking 6 years to pay off 140K. What up, Aslan? What up, Robert G? Frosty Cow 9597 mortgage pre-approval. Husband and I are in the process of trying to buy our first home. Our net income is $200,000 per year. We are debt-free, fully funded emergency fund, and a down payment saved on top of that. Well, that is pretty fabulous. That, I would say, at that point, if you have the full down payment, you are ready to buy a mortgage. Let's see, we just submitted for a pre-approval on a home loan, and they said that since he is self-employed, they are unable to use his income to factor how much we can afford. Really? Interesting. So they gave us a pre-approval for $350,000 purchase price based solely on my income, which is not enough to even buy a trailer in our area. Well, then you live in too high of an area. You can also, if they're using credit score, you can see if they can use manual underwriting, and they can get around that by if he can show that he has paid rent somewhere, since you haven't bought a house before, if he can show rent somewhere and anything else he has a history of paying with, they can use manual underwriting to do that instead of the computer pre-approval. So you could look for that. Dad offered to co-sign for us. That's a no. Do not do that. Isn't an option my husband and I want to do. That's good. You do not want to mix family and business, and that's what that is when you do any kind of loans or any kind of business or any kind of money dealings with family or friends. That changes the relationship, whether you want to admit it or not. So I would try that, but I mean, if you live somewhere where 350K can only buy a trailer, then you might need to move away from that area. That might be your problem there. And I'll tell you where. Oh yeah, okay, so the net income's 200,000. Hey, guess what? So that's that would be $500,000. Oh no, that's, yeah. Nope. Yeah, approximately $500,000 would be the most that you should get a mortgage for. And so it is possible, but that's what I'm thinking is if they just put it in the computer and let the computer figure it out, and it just said, well, you're self-employed, you can't use that, because I don't know why, if you can also show that you have owned that business and made money in that business for years and years and years, I don't know why. Again, I would try to go to manual underwriting if you have not done that already. Also, try a different lender. Try Churchill Mortgage that Mr. Ramsey endorses and has known those guys for years. Positive, okay, 8993. Prioritize debt or leave it. Can't sing that song that well. Leave it. That's a group called Yes. If you had $2,000 in government debt interest-free, would you pay it off as soon as possible or pay it over 2 years or $20 a week? I'm not sure what to do. I know I'll feel better mentally if it's paid off, but financially it'd be better off paying over time. Okay, you feeling better mentally aligns with what Dave says. Dave says pay it off. It doesn't matter if there's no interest on it. It's still debt and you want to get debt free. That is step 2. So you shouldn't be doing anything else except paying that off. After you have your $1,000 emergency fund, you shouldn't be having extra savings other than $1,000. Shouldn't be investing, should not be saving a down payment, should not have bought a house, all that stuff. So you're in step 2, my friend. So pay it off. That's step 2. As Lynn says, that's Champ Bailey jersey. That's it. That's correct. That's correct, Robert G. Robert G knows about the DMV stuff that's going on. Today they had the ceremony for Darryl Green's jersey retirement today, and that's awesome. He's I think might be the only player that ever played 20 years, all staying with the same team. And so he's been in the Hall of Fame for a long time, and this has been long overdue. I don't know why previous ownership did not do that previously, but it's finally done. So yeah, and before Champ Bailey. No, I think it's after Champ Bailey. Is that when Sean Springs came in? Sean Springs came in? I think after that. But he had already played. Sean Springs had played somewhere else first. Let's see. Where are we? Did that one? Okay. Oh, let's see. And then got distracted by talk. If you are self-employed, they may want to look at few years of tax returns. Right. And that's going to be manual underwriting. That's not going to. A computer can't probably handle all that stuff. Yeah, proof of income. Daniel Snyder would never do anything that wasn't centered around himself. LOL. Yeah, that seems to be the case. So it's going better now, though. Except quarterback got injured today, but supposedly he's. They said he's good. Quote unquote good. So we'll find out. They're going to do, I think, more x-rays and tests and stuff tomorrow. Litcam 15, investing money for my son. Basically, before you would do that, that's extra savings. You would be in step 7. If you're not in step 7, then you're not doing this. You're applying that money to your stuff. You're putting on your oxygen mask before you assist others. And so, yeah, currently still in the baby steps, but this post is not for me. It's for my son. He's 2. Yeah, he doesn't need it. Doesn't need it yet. You get your life straight first, and then you can start investing for your son. He has a savings account of $500, which will grow every birthday. That's fine. That stuff is fine. And Christmas, my parents have said they are going to give him money for each of the 2. I'm not always expecting it, though. That's fine. My question is, how can I invest this money to best prepare him for the future? You leave it right in the savings account. And that way he has the money, like, to buy a car and to do teenage expenses. All right? And then after that, if you want to save for college for him, they do have, the state has, in America, the states have 529 plans, and there's a national ESA, Educational Saving Account plan, in which you can invest as well. You can even open a brokerage account for them. You can do whatever you want as far as that goes, but you would be done with paying the house first. You would start to address kid college in step 5, but 4, 5, and 6, investing, address kid college, and pay off the house early. That's done before you do like extra savings that is not specifically for college for your child. And like I said, I mean, $500, that's not that much, and put birthday and Christmas money into it. That's fine. And you can keep that separate from your money. That's fine. But like coming out of your pocket, you need to do the baby steps first. And then guess what? Once you get those done, you will have tons of money to invest for your son while he is still young, probably, even. So people always want to jump ahead. They always want to jump ahead. If it's not the parents wanting to do it for their son, it's kids wanting to start investing early as well. When you can't put that in a retirement account, even if you are working and 18, if you think you'll need it for college or a car or something like that, or money to move out, that kind of thing. And so quit jumping the gun. You're young. You have plenty of time to be in the market. Kennel M. Digby. I can only invest in single stocks. What should I do? What? Oh, I am 23-year-old man, US UK dual citizen living in the UK, which makes tax while investing a complex hell. Okay. I would say defect to the United States then. Be a dual citizen, but live in the U.S. instead. Essentially, I cannot invest in UK ETFs as the U.S. classified them as PFICs and would tax the hell out of me, and I cannot invest in U.S. ETFs as any international brokerage I could sign up with. All right, it would require these U.S. ETFs to produce key information documents, which they do not. Okay, I would say completely defect to the United States then, instead of doing all that bullcrap. Let's see. Therefore, I'm only able to invest in single stocks. Dave Ramsey's worst nightmare. No, debt would probably be more of a nightmare for him. I've been thinking that my best option is to go strongly into Berkshire Hathaway. No, I wouldn't do that. I would find a good managed mutual fund, and I would try to mimic that as far as you get a little bit of each stock. If you can buy partial stocks. If you can't buy partial stocks, buy one stock at a time with different ones and make yourself diversified like that, rather than like putting all your money in one or two stocks instead. Even if it is Berkshire Hathaway, I understand they're diversified as well. But I think the thing to do would be to diversify yourself more than that. Let's see. Aslan doesn't agree with something. Let's see. Where I'm not sure I agree, Steve. The money is a gift to his son, so it seems like the intent of the gift parents is to their grandson of his. Yeah, that's what I'm not saying take that money and use that for baby steps. I said that's fine. Leave that in the savings account. Also, the boy is 2, so a car is 14, 16 years away. Yeah, but if you keep the money in the savings account, that kind of thing should be funded first before way, way, way down the line. So I'm just saying, do not put. I wouldn't even put it in a brokerage account. Regardless of whether, and then you still have to pay taxes on the gains on that. I wouldn't even do that. You theoretically you could, because almost certainly it would make money in the market within 14 years, but you never know. You never know what a kid will need money for, that you want to make the kid pay for it since the kid has the money. That fits. Would putting the money into an index type fund, something with higher returns than a saving account, right? And I get that. I get that he could make more money with it that way. But again, you don't ever know when the child will want something. Might want to go to space camp at 10 years old. Or at some point might need something when, or want something. If it's a need, the parents probably do it. I'm just saying, you keep yourself, by making less money for sure, you keep yourself able to do whatever he wants to with it, because you're trying to say that it's his money. So that way, it's right there whenever you want. So you can argue for that, and I certainly get that, to try to make more money with it. But there's just too much that kids might need to do with money other than use it for retirement. Or you might need it within a certain time period, where if you keep putting the money in, eventually that 5-year time window when the market is most likely to be up instead of down, that might eventually keep up with you, and it might be down at that particular time. So I understand what you're saying, but again, I would rather be too late with that than too early with it. Now if it's getting, and this is like 500 and birthday and Christmas money. Now, if it gets to be thousands and thousands of dollars in it, then at that point I might consider it. So, if it continues to grow at exponential rate, as far as the times that he has given money, then at that point I would consider that, because then you could have both. You could have some in the savings account and some being invested. Boom, boom, boom. That one did. Adventurous Car 1433, paying off debt or save it. Save the debt or save the money. So if you do that, you are debt leveraging having savings, and so that's not advised. Got quite a few separate debts to pay. Well, then you pay out the debt. That's step 2. Are you familiar with Mr. Ramsey? He's the no debt guy. He's not the keep debt around while you save extra money. That's not his advice. Doesn't matter the list here. Doesn't matter, or the interest rates. Currently saved 500, planning to pay off loan 2 as highest interest. That's not the advice either. It's smallest to largest amount. But want to know, is it worth paying off now? If you want to follow Mr. Ramsey's advice, step 2 is paying off all debt. That's after you step 1, save $1,000. Or keep saving a minimum of $110 a week. That would be a no. You don't save more than the $1,000 emergency fund while you still have debt. Perhaps read over the baby steps, sir, in the bloody UK. Taco Spicy emergency fund or attack the little one. $1,000 emergency fund first, or 1,000 bloody pounds since you're in the UK. But I've been practicing Dave Ramsey's baby steps. My wife and I are on baby steps, and so as you can see, how many people from the UK even use this subreddit. I would say he has a lot of people that watch his show, as much as they can. Let's see. My wife and I are on baby step 1/2, and that's not how it works. That's not how it works, sir. I don't know how lists work in the UK, but what did I do here? There we go. There's your baby steps right there. I don't know how lists work in the UK, but like, you don't pick which ones you want to do and then do all of those at the same time. You're on baby step 1, you save this $1,000 or 1,000 bloody quid, or whatever the equivalent in quid is for 1,000 US dollars, whatever you want to do there. And that you would do first, and you don't do anything except pay minimums while you're saving that $1,000. Now, after you have that $1,000 in there, you do not use that money, any of that, to pay off debt. You do not do that. You also do not add more to the savings while you are then paying off debt. You're putting all extra to the debt. Right now, all extra is going to step 1, and then you do not start other baby steps. You are not investing. You're not saving any more than the $1,000. You're not saving for college kids. You're not paying extra on the house. No, 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 no. People always love to jump ahead early, and you're not supposed to do that. Let's see. And manage to save about 800 bloody quid rather than 1,000 for emergency fund. Annoyingly, we already had to take 100 out of our emergency fund for a missed payment. Okay. And then that means out of the extra money that you have, 100 quid needs to go back into that emergency fund. Then you refill that, because when you use emergency fund money, guess what? You're right back in step one. You're no longer on step two. You're back in step one until you have built that up again. My question is, do we add more money to our emergency fund? No. You decide what you want it to be, which I think theirs is more, so they would have more than 1,000 quid, I think, right? I can never remember the exchange rate on that. So I am not 100% for sure, but like I said, you can do 1,000 pounds, or you can do whatever the exchange rate for 1,000 US dollars is, whichever. Do we add more money to our emergency fund ASAP until we have 1,000 pounds? Yes. Until you have whatever you want the thing to be. Since he doesn't specify for that, you can use the 1,000. You can use now 1,000 pounds or 1,000 pounds in USD, or however many pounds are in USD, US dollars. Or do we just attack the little one with a vengeance? You don't go vengeance on anything except the emergency fund until the starter emergency fund is at the level that you have decided, either 1,000 pounds or the number of pounds that equals 1,000 US dollars. And so next smallest debt is giving us a bit of pressure from a debt collection agency who are demanding 280, which we could pay off today. If it's in a debt collection agency and they work the same as in the United States, I don't know about that. See if you can settle it for less. Otherwise, you would put collection debt at the end of it. So this person, obviously needs to watch the show more. So they get these things that aren't really spelled out, unfortunately, in the baby steps. And even if you hit learn more, there's a bunch more that goes into each thing, because you got to tell people, do not do this, do not do that, do not do that, do not do that. You have to tell them. You just can't give them just this one sentence and expect them to know. You can't even throw this one list at them without them saying, oh, we're on baby steps 1 and 2. And say they don't understand. They don't understand the way it's supposed to be done, the proven way of doing it. Let's see. And so that fits with putting money into an... Oh, I already read that. Okay. And agreed. Yes, the market probably would be more. Did that one. So no. Emergency fund first. That's step 1. And then step 2, attacking debts with a vengeance, starting with the smallest one. They always put they always put ads on here that make it look like it's a question or a comment. Okay, Signal 8933. This person has frequently posted on here. Starting baby step 1. Excellent. About time. You've been on here a lot. I think this is the one. It was a OK_signal in some numbers. I don't know if maybe that wasn't the exact one, but we'll see. 27 female, 70K a year, 4.5K month net in sales. Starting a part-time job on the weekends. Fabulous. That's how you get done with the baby steps faster. Work more, spend less. I've wanted financial peace for so long, and so waited so long. And starting this part-time job is my first step. I'll make an extra 1K a month that I'll be able to dedicate all of these funds first to savings, then to paying off my 28K in debt. Okay, and that savings should only be to the $1,000. Not looking for advice. Okay, great. Encouragement only as start the journey. Great. It's fabulous that you're being intentional and making extra efforts for more income while you try to get your finances straight. Hopefully, that's following the baby steps correctly. Anyone else in a similar position, working part-time job to get the ball rolling? I worked a part-time job in addition to my full-time job while I was getting my full emergency fund together. Absolutely. And that can make it happen much, much, much faster. Psychological win, 758, staying motivated. When it rains, it pours. I don't know if they were trying to be clever, like poor, like you're not rich, poor, and it's P-O-U-R-S. So I think they're just trying to be clever there. Emergency fund took a hit for car repair, new fuel pump, and diagnostics. Okay, can deal with that. All right. A week later, get bills for copay for spouse's surgery. All right, we owe about $3K. Not optimal, but with no car payments or debts besides student loans and mortgages, manageable. More than one mortgage? You're doing it wrong. Sell the rental property, and then you won't have any problem and get completely debt free. And then if you still want to be a landlord, then you save up cash to buy a new house to do be a landlord on. Set up payments over 6 months. Last night, furnace won't come on. Local repair guy's been at my house 4 hours now trying to get it fixed. I'm frazzled. Only option if it's over $500 will be to use credit to pay for it. You use everything else. You sell the other freaking house before you get a loan, dummy. Gosh, people don't get it. Yes, we'll pay it as quick as possible, but I'm stressed. Sell the other house. Unless that's a typo. Let's go ahead and already shelling out. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at it and see if the dumbness is actually happening. Or he just typoed. Already shelling out close to 5 bills a month for the medical bills. Need to rebuild the emergency fund. And that's, you don't do anything else except that. You're paying minimums on all debt. So that's all you're doing. You're not investing. You're not investing for retirement. So you stop all that while you rebuild the emergency fund. There's ample room in the budget to make it all happen, but it's taxing. I'm really wishing I had all those extra student loan payments in a savings account right now. Sorry, Dave, 1K isn't enough for emergency fund, and baby step 2 takes several years when you're tackling student loan debt. And again, not if you have 2 houses that you have mortgages on. We have electric heaters and a fireplace, so we're not freezing, but it's not something I want to put off fixing. So, again, so that's your choice then. So you could save up for it and fix it before the harsh winter come. We know winter is coming, but it is still October. So let's see, feeling happy to be able to afford it, but stressed I don't have the cash for it. Well, you should have started paying off debt earlier, or check this out, not taking it out at all. Encouragement from those who have had setbacks is welcome. You just have to keep going. I mean, if you have setbacks, that's fine, but imagine if you hadn't even started the baby steps, you'd be even in worse shape with these setbacks. And so that's why you got to keep going. That's why you got to keep going, and I let's see, I got to know if he has a house. If anybody else caught that. Because mortgages, that's a no. Working OT, get a second job at 10 or 12 bucks an hour. Why not? Why not? Reluctant to. See, this is all you not wanting to do it. And that's fine. You don't have to do it. You can just stay stuck where you are. That's fine with me. You can also stop paying off the debt and putting all that money in savings. That's not the Dave Ramsey advice. That's not the proven way to get out of the state you're in. You're going to stay in it by doing that debt leveraging to have extra savings. This is where I diverge from which I guess isn't good since it's baby step 1. Well, that's great. I mean, why even be on the Dave Ramsey subreddit? Just so you can find other people that diverge from the baby steps too? I don't know, I guess. Let's see. I just want to see if anybody else caught the thing where he has two mortgages. OP, do. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, nobody said anything about it. So if I remember after the stream, I'll put a comment in there. It's like, yo, you said mortgages, dog. Sell if you have two mortgages, you sell the second house, you sell the rental property, and take care of as much of your debt with that as you can. Hopefully, all of it. And then if you still want to be a landlord, you save up cash to buy a rental property. As it says, Steve, you might consider a show that goes into details of baby step 0. Yeah, I was gonna make a video about the missing baby steps, but I still haven't done that yet. Baby step 0 and baby step 3B, the missing baby steps. Let's see. It is not something very well during Dave's normal show. Oh, right, where it's like explained a lot of it. Yeah, that's one of the things that is not. Let's see, another idea is covering the nuisances to, I put the light in the exact wrong spot, to step 2 that might be helpful for people following Dave's plan, things like how to handle collections. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to talk about. I could probably do one video on each step, much less not just the two missing ones, but probably each step. And it's just where you gotta tell them, and that's why I wrote the baby step song, is to where you specifically point out you do not use the $1,000 emergency fund to start paying on debt. The $1,000 emergency fund stays there, and you start using the extra money that you make from then on to do that. And you, best case scenario, you never touch that $1,000, and you never touch your full emergency fund either. But this person, maybe, hopefully, I have a real problem if he does have two different mortgages, and then he's complaining about this kind of stuff, because that's all his own doing at that point, and whining a little bit about getting an extra job and stuff like that. That's not the right attitude. But still wants everything to be fine. What is this? Robosh Midcon. Frequent poster on here. Which of Dave's baby steps helped you the most? Which baby step helped you with saving money or building wealth? Well, that's different than which baby steps help you the most, because all of them don't necessarily lead to saving money or building wealth. I mean, I guess they do in a roundabout way. Let's see. For me, baby step 1 made me realize how much was wasting on things like subscriptions and takeout, which were adding to my monthly bills. Yeah, that seems like that might be baby step 0 even, which is when you make the budget. You do that even before you start saving the $1,000. Hopefully you're well enough off where you maybe have some savings already that can give you a good start on the $1,000, if not fund the whole thing. But doing the budget would show you that you have those subscriptions and takeout and so forth. And so the budget probably is what I would say, and that's part of baby step 0. So I would say, but of course they're all helpful. They all help you in different ways, which eventually leads to that baby step 7. Building wealth and giving. Foxhound 34. Every dollar connection issues. I had every dollar a few years now. Originally with a small local bank, but I switched to Chase 2 years ago. Despite the every dollar website saying Chase is up 100% of the time, my app will never connect Saturday through Monday. Heck, today is Tuesday and it still hasn't connected since Friday. This is a regular occurrence for me. Does anyone else deal with this? I'll take a look just in case, but this could be your Wi-Fi or your phone service and not particularly Chase's issue. Free version, bank's never connected. Okay. Post on the sub at r/everydollar. Okay. One of the moderators is $everydollar support. Oh, okay, great. That's fabulous. I did not know that. Now, not sure how active they are, but maybe some others can help. Give it a try. What's weird is if frequently asked questions say the transactions, if transactions don't appear within 72 hours, then delete the bank and add it back. Interesting. That makes sense. But it is literally every Saturday to Monday, so that can't be the issue. So I would say, yeah, it's either a Chase problem, or it's your internet, or even your device. Have you tried on both computer and on the phone? That's what I would suggest. And of course, you reboot both of those. You reboot the laptop. If you've been just letting it go to sleep, you reboot the phone. Do a hard restart on it. And hopefully you can get it working for you. Let's see. Oh, let's go ahead and open this one fully. Do you think my boyfriend and I can be financially compatible? You asking about that now? If I had to guess, I'd say no, but let's see. My boyfriend, 35 man, and I, 31 female. Okay, so older than I thought. Have been dating for 2.5 years, and I'm struggling with concerns about our financial compatibility. Yeah, and the older you are, theoretically, the harder it would be for you to change mindsets. Let's see, I'll provide details about both our financial situations. His behavior, mine's fine, right? That what she's saying? And my concerns, and I'd like advice whether it's realistic to expect financial agreement, alignment, or if I need to sacrifice my own financial stability to be with them. Probably it does sound like that. You will have to, some married couples do have to compromise with each other on this stuff, on finances. And that would mean everything right here. What you agree to with your spouse, you don't do it for just a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You wait until you get married. Do not move in together until you are married. Anything that you guys agree on and compromise on supersedes the Ramsey advice. And so that's how it works. But let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume you're doing everything in perfect. Oh, I have 20K in federal student loans. Okay, well that was dumb of you. So, oh, guess what? So you're investing while you are having student loans, so you're not doing it right either. So you're not perfect. Education doesn't so much matter. Iron worker. 54K in private student loan debt, down from 84K, so it is going down. And currently paying. He doesn't have other major bills besides food, gas. How? How doesn't he? Living situation. He lives with his family on their 300-acre farm. Sleeps in the unfinished basement on a futon and doesn't pay rent or significant household bills. All right, and so that doesn't get you in a situation where you are used to being an adult. So, yeah, living in a dorm, and fraternity, engineering, changed majors multiple times. Yeah. So, I mean, you concerned drug use, he gets randomly. Okay, drug tested at work, yet I know he smokes weed socially. All right, and again, you don't need us to tell you whether you like this, you don't like any of this, or it wouldn't be listed under concern. If you can live with it is the question. The recklessness, yep. Farm inheritance, he's supposed to inherit it, which is 300 acres, but how much, and his brother? Where did that go? Family farm, which is 300 acres, along with his brother and 2 sisters, I assume. I think my boyfriend and his brother would run it. Farm appears run down with color. Is there any debt on it? The farm makes little to no money. You sell the land then. Living together, we're supposed to move in together next month. Not advised. Do not do that. I asked him how much he could contribute to rent and shared expenses. Didn't have a clear answer, shocker. And yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this table stuff here. This formatting here for this. Where is it? Okay. Darn it. Okay. Second one. Next month, but I changed my mind and decided to move back in with my dad to save money, okay? He didn't have a clear and suggested of only a few $100s and would have to check. He hasn't followed up on that, which made me uncomfortable. Yeah, you should be. You should be. And so you decide if you can live with that. I mean, that seems like the way it's going to be. He hasn't proven himself in any way, as far as I can see. You haven't mentioned anything that sounds, things that he's doing that is good. Do you think my boyfriend and I can be financially compatible? Not from what you've said here. What would it take? But again, you're not perfect either. You're not following the Ramsey advice either. What would it take for him to grow financially and align with my goals? Well, the problem is Peter Pan syndrome. He hasn't grown up. He's never lived on his own. He's still living with his parents. And doesn't have to pay bills. Will I need to sacrifice my financial security and stability by staying with him? Possibly. Is there a chance it could change? It's always possible, but I mean, if that's what you require, you need to say, here's what I require. You're going to have to do this, and you're going to have to be a lot more responsible with money, and you're going to have to come to the table when we, and do not move in or tie yourself to this person without getting married. Is it unreasonable for me to want a more responsible, goal-oriented partner? No way. No, it's not. Given that he seems to live in the moment and prioritize fun. No, that's opposite of you in a lot of respects, but again, you're not doing it perfectly either. So yeah, there's a lot of red flags there, and so you need to have long talks about it with him. Maybe do Financial Peace University together, and if he's like, yeah, I can't do any of this stuff, then maybe it's a no on him. So also can do counseling together, couples counseling, even though you're not married, could do that. But yeah, it seems like a lot of stuff that you don't like. And really, when you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, and especially one that you would think would be a husband or wife one day, you might want to be agreeing on most stuff. Oh, let's see. Sam, they need marriage counseling, not married. They were going to move in, but she called that off, fortunately. Yeah, sometimes couple counseling. Yep, I got there eventually, Aslan. You guys beat me to it, but I got there eventually. Practical action 438. Thank God for emergency funds. Thank God for emergency fund. That doesn't really fit with thank God I'm a country boy. So, but I mean, I could work that. Thank God for emergency fund. I'm not going to write that one. You guys feel free to write it. New song coming next week. Probably maybe not ready for Tuesday, but Thursday, one that Sid wrote. That her husband suggested. And I was like, why don't you write it? Because it was right at the time when I started moving. And so she wrote it, and it's really good. Just had an unexpected $20,000 bill expense raise its head. Such an awful feeling. Ick. I could have bought a car for that. Yep. But if we didn't have that in the bank, we'd be in deeper doo-doo. That much is certain. And so that is why you have the emergency fund. And that is why the emergency fund is what you take care of before you even start investing or saving for kid college or paying extra on the house. You take care of yourself first by having that full emergency fund, and to a lesser extent by having the baby starter emergency fund in step one. Alrighty, once again, I'm Coach Steve Money, and youtube.com/Coach Steve Money is the I don't have a website. That is my start page on the YouTube. And if you scroll down, you can get to the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist. That's this show and the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. And there are 130? It says about 530 different shows altogether. So plenty of listening to me talk, sing, whatever. And so you can certainly get your fill. And speaking of singing, 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist so far. Please listen to those if you are so inclined. Once again, I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can email me about anything on my YouTube channel or financial coaching, any kind of questions you have, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Alternatively to CashApp, $Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, again, Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Alternatively, again, super chats on here. Also, super thanks if you watch a pre-recorded video. Upcoming streams answering your financial questions. That's this stream. And that is Saturdays and Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, unless there's a Washington Commanders or Ohio State Buckeye game on at that particular time, and then I'll do it earlier in the day. The Ramsey Show After Show Tuesdays and Thursdays, approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Ramsey Show Chat Refugee Stream, sometimes with content, sometimes with not, but that's just places where we can chat, and I may have content happening on there at the same time. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's approximately when the Ramsey Show ends on YouTube, and the last hour, which is about 40 minutes of video, goes exclusively to the Ramsey Network app. Alrighty. I said everything. I did everything. Alrighty. And so thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And if you've already done those things, thank you so much. Your support means everything. Thank you so very much. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Thanks, Sam.